Say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in Alexander Witherspoon.
Could y'all let me go join my Valentine's Day? You going to jail? You don't know me? That's what I'm saying.
3-year-old men are recovering after they were shot just before noon today. Police say all three were standing near 63rd and King Drive.
Put your other hand on top of your head, please.
Out here?
What?
For what?
You too, I hate it like this, partner.
Every year, Netflix lets people vote on what documentaries they want to see next, but anything connected to King Von keeps getting blocked, and fans think that's no coincidence. One tweet even said King Von is the only guy who committed so many crimes several years ago, all documented on social media, yet the feds are only now finding out he's guilty. And people swore that's why Netflix won't touch a documentary about his chaotic life. After Von passed in 2020, investigators in Chicago solved multiple cold cases using updated tech, and his name popped up in several of them. The first situation people always point to is that 2014 case in Englewood. Von, whose real name was Davon Bennett, and a dude known as Big Mike, went to a birthday party on the South Side. Moments later, gunfire broke out. Police eventually charged Von with first-degree charges and 2 counts of attempted charges connected to what happened. He was only 19 then, and Big Mike ended up flipping, becoming a witness against him. According to the reports, a witness claimed they saw Von and Big Mike sneaking up to the party. They allegedly hopped the fence and instantly opened fire, and caught in the middle of the chaos was Malcolm Stuckey, a 19-year-old college student and aspiring basketball player. Big Mike later confirmed that witness story. But when it finally got to trial, things took a strange turn. Von and Big Mike were tried at the same time, but with separate juries, meaning prosecutors had to convince 2 different groups with the same evidence. At the end of it all, the outcome split. Big Mike was found guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm tied to one of the survivors, then later got that reduced on appeal. But Von walked out not guilty on every single charge. The judge literally stated Bennett was acquitted on all counts, and Von walked out a free man, calling it a moment that changed his whole life. Years later, in 2020, Von dropped a track where he talked about that case again, even calling out Mike for snitching and bragging about how he beat the charges.
I cuffed him this way because
Could y'all let me go join my Valentine's Day?
you going to jail.
I just got to jail. You don't know me? That's what I'm saying.
What were you like him for?
Like a body until two.
I'm sorry?
You want it, you gonna have it.
He even brought the case up to police when he got arrested in another incident, using it to show how tough he was. His supporters were hyped, but detectives claimed that this moment started a pattern where Von kept getting pulled into more dangerous situations without consequences. Then there's the 2019 situation that also involved Lil Durk, and this one could have ended very differently if Von hadn't passed away. In February of that year, a man was hit near the Varsity restaurant in Atlanta, and his jewelry and Jeep were taken. Investigators used security footage and anonymous tips before charging both Von and Durk in connection to the incident. A detective even testified that video showed Durk firing from a moving car and placed Von inside that same vehicle, and police body cam footage caught the moment Von was taken into custody.
Put your other hand on top of your head, please.
Out here?
What?
For what? Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just stay safe, we're gonna just change it. You too, I hate it like this, partner. You ain't never give me no hard time.
Hey man, when you can't explain to your aunt, man, like it's not, we don't know what your case is. We just people that come pick you up. Right.
A week later, both of them got bond. Durk posted $250,000 and Von posted $300,000. But everything changed in November 2020 when Von passed away, and suddenly the case froze. For almost 2 years, nothing happened. Then in October 2022, Fulton County prosecutors dropped all charges against Durk, saying the decision was in the interest of justice, mainly because Von's case file never reached a jury. Without him there, investigators assumed they couldn't properly move forward and closed it without pushing Durk to trial. But when new claims started circulating online, things got messy fast. A member of OTF named Vanny has reportedly been involved in a separate legal situation, and rumors online say he's providing info in another case. Then Vanny's father did an interview claiming that Durk supposedly backdoored Von to stop the Varsity case from ever going to trial. It shocked people because those are serious claims, even though they haven't been proven, and everything he said immediately went viral. DJ Academics even said he didn't get why Durk would ever want something like that. And that's when Vanny's father laid out his whole explanation. He claimed the case could have brought huge pressure on everyone involved, making it better for certain people if Von never made it to trial.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right in there.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? Yeah. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk before, who told on Von before he.
He also pointed out that Von wasn't officially signed to Durk, and fans online started speculating about whether jealousy played a role since Von's career was taking off fast, and some said he was becoming the bigger artist.
Why would Durk want Von?
Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
dude was
thing.
A slack. Dude was a. He was signing the boys. He was a. Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that. Which was
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney? He had a public defender."
Court documents reportedly suggest the case closed quietly, which made people online think Durk might have worked something out legally, placing responsibility on Von since he was no longer here. Again, none of this has been proven, but that didn't stop people from running wild with it. And then Vanny's father added even more to the fire by claiming Vanny was connected to situations involving Lil Pap and Von's fatal night, which only made debates online explode even more. The situation involving Lil Pab is the case people say could put Lil Durk behind bars.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages, like that's.
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and with me saying Von, some people like, man, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pap, you orchestrated this, and guess who you work for?
But before all that, King Von's name kept coming up around what happened to FBG Duck in downtown Chicago. On August 4th, Duck pulled up with his girlfriend on Oak Street, one of the busiest luxury spots in the whole city. He stepped out the car and got in line for a designer store, not even knowing people were already watching him. The moment Duck was seen in public, several people connected to OTF allegedly sent the word out to folks from O Block. Cameras in the Parkway Gardens buildings caught people rushing down the stairwells and sprinting out like they were on a mission. City cameras also caught a Ford Fusion and a Chrysler 300 speeding out of the area, both heading straight toward downtown like they weren't wasting a single second. Around 4:26 p.m., both cars pulled up near where Duck was parked. Two individuals jumped out of the vehicles and started firing before speeding off again in seconds. Duck and another person tried to duck behind the car for cover, but his girlfriend still got hit in the wrist and another friend got hit multiple times. Police later revealed Duck was struck several times, showing he was clearly the main target of the attack. Not long after that, King Von sat down with DJ Academics, and when he was asked, "Were you saddened by the news that he was," it sparked even more online talk.
Were you saddened by the news that he was?
Man, I heard. I didn't go to sleep at night.
Can't believe that. Hold on, man. Oh, let's talk about some other.
Investigators had found 38 shell casings at the scene, but for months nobody got arrested because the people responsible thought the whole thing would disappear like other Chicago cases. But doing something that heavy in a busy luxury shopping district meant officers had no choice but to track every single move those cars made. Eventually, 6 people linked to O-Block were taken into custody. C-Money, Kenny Mac, Loss, C-Thang, Muop, and Tizzy were all charged in connection to the case. And one detail really caught investigators' attention. All of them were wearing diamond chains they got from King Von. Prosecutors believe Von spent around $128,000 on those pendants, possibly as gifts for loyalty or team identity, but it instantly made detectives look at the situation differently. Just 10 days after Duck passed, Icebox even posted a video of Von inside the store buying the chains, which became a major talking point once the investigation heated up. More information came out in January 2023 too, when the Chicago Sun-Times reported that police files included statements from an informant saying someone from a street organization had put money on Duck's head, starting at $50,000 and rising to $100,000. By 2024, trials began for the suspects, but Von had already passed, so authorities never made any official announcement about his involvement. But this week, even more files surfaced, including reports about Von's own final moments. According to the documents, a nurse at the hospital told officers that Von survived 2 surgeries and was alive while waiting for a 3rd one. But out of nowhere, his condition changed when someone entered the room and startled him.
Surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it to 2 surgeries. And then after the 2nd surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, talking about some, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital? Because
she was there at the hospital.
And that's when everything took a turn. The details shocked a lot of people because it raised new questions about what really happened inside that hospital room. Von's close friend Bayo also talked about how the security team hired to protect Von wasn't seen anywhere once the fight broke out during that night. Police body cam footage captured Von's friends around him, but not a single professional bodyguard in sight, which made people wonder what caused such a major security gap during a night that was supposed to be heavily protected.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's the reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, there's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
To understand the full picture, you have to look back at the police file explaining the timeline of that whole night. On November 5th, 2020, Von and his team were heading to a club to celebrate the release of his album. It was meant to be a huge positive moment for him, no drama, just celebration. Von knew he had a wild past, and he understood how risky it could be to move around the city, which is exactly why he normally had top-tier security and more than 20 people rolling with him for protection. Even Von's manager talked about how seriously he took security, saying Von moved like someone who understood danger from every angle. But on this night, something felt off.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
People close to him said he wasn't acting like the usual Von at all, and that switch in energy ended up putting him in a risky position he didn't see coming. Inside the club, though, everything started smooth. The album celebration was lit, everyone was chilling, and it looked like they'd wrap up the night with no problems. When the party ended around 2:30 a.m., the plan was simple. They go back to the hotel, call it a night, and keep things low-key. But out of nowhere, Von changed the whole plan. Instead of going back, the whole crew turned toward the Airbnb, and then Von suddenly told his driver to head to another spot called the Monaco Lounge.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. we got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, you know we here by ourselves, like where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
That one last-minute decision was the first major move that shifted the entire night into chaos. For reasons nobody still understands.
Everybody's mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
The people riding with Von didn't even tell the rest of the team they were switching locations until they were already at Monaco, so everyone else had to whip their cars around and race over there. They made it in time, but Von's manager immediately felt something was wrong. Von wasn't his normal energetic self. He was quiet, sitting in the back of the truck, locked in on his phone, barely talking.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 35 minutes.
After about 30 minutes, his manager convinced him to step inside the club. Following Von's security protocol, a couple of his guys went inside first to check the place and make sure it was safe. Nobody expected the real threat to be outside in the parking lot instead, while the security team was inside scanning the club.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
One of Von's guys was walking around outside and caught sight of Quando Rondo sitting in a white SUV with his team. He rushed straight back to tell Von because their crews had been clashing for months at this point, and everybody knew it had turned into real tension. The moment Von heard Quando was outside, he jumped up instantly.
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go. He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
That's why the cameras caught Von in the white outfit walking straight toward Quando's vehicle. He wanted a face-to-face confrontation. His team tried to calm him down, but Von was locked in. He opened the door, stepped out the truck, and walked right up. As soon as he bumped into Quando, a fight broke out fast. They started brawling, and within seconds, things spiraled. Quando's friend Lil Tim came around the back of the white SUV and fired multiple times, hitting Von during the chaos. Von's manager was also hit in the leg by accident during the confusion. Some of Von's people were armed too, and they immediately fired back, turning the whole street into a chaotic scene. Shots rang out loud enough to alert off-duty officers nearby, who rushed over and returned fire, causing even more confusion and sadly leading to the passing of one of Von's close friends during the exchange. In the middle of all that, Von and Quando ended up beside each other on the ground. People online started claiming Quando was trying to grab Von's chain, but Von's manager said he believed Von was actually holding on to Quando as a shield while struggling to stay conscious.
And was he trying to take Von's chain or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong. Like, he was literally holding him.
As the shock started to settle and people began running off, Quando and his team jumped into their SUV and sped toward the hospital.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get him to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
At the same time, Von's team was desperately trying to save him. His close friend Muwap ran into the street, picked Von up, and rushed him into their getaway vehicle. They drove fast toward the hospital, while Von was telling everyone in the car that he was going to be okay, showing just how strong he tried to be for his whole crew. After making it through 2 surgeries, the report said Von suddenly got startled when a nurse entered the room, and that's when everything took a heartbreaking turn. People close to the situation later said Von looked like he was reaching for a firearm he believed he had, but he didn't have one on him that night. which raised even more questions for fans who remembered an interview where Boosie seemed to know something about that detail long before this information became public.
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King Von
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all them niggas post black. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
that me up,
over
bro.
everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. Cause I like King Von. You know?
News of Von's passing hit the internet instantly, and the whole world reacted.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of.
Everyone knew the confrontation involved Quando and Lil Tim, and the public waited to hear what they would say next. When their interviews dropped, Quando spoke on what happened, and even
whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out. Or whatever, like that could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Lil Tim had something to say. Since Tim was the one who actually pulled the trigger, a lot of people still ask how he ended up walking free after everything went down.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, yeah, I ain't know the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't know no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and shit like that. Cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
The day after the situation, once he recovered in the hospital, he was officially charged for what happened to King Von. But after several court dates and a strong legal team pushing his side of the story, Tim's lawyers argued he acted in self-defense, and the charges were eventually dropped before the case was ever indicted. His attorney even confirmed it publicly, which shocked a lot of people close to Von's camp. Folks around Von felt like something had to be done, and that's what led to a major confrontation involving Quando Rondo's crew almost a year later.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
That incident resulted in Quando's close friend Lil Pop losing his life, which sparked even more talk across the internet. People online started saying Durk wanted to send a message that anyone coming for people close to him wouldn't just walk away untouched. Fans also pointed out certain lyrics from a feature Durk dropped where he rapped, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no." And many listeners thought he was reacting to how Quando responded after the situation with Lil Pab. Then Durk released another track where he hinted someone from another crew got hit, rapping the line, "They like Durk, he a singer, he won't do something. You can believe whatever you want, I got your folks hit." Those lyrics made the internet explode with debate and conspiracy theories. Some people online started wondering if Durk only responded toward Quando's camp because he didn't want things to look suspicious. Others questioned whether he wanted to avoid any attention falling back on him regarding Von's situation, even though there's no confirmed evidence linking him to anything. Still, the rumors kept circulating because fans love to dig into every lyric, every move, and every old interview until they think they found a hidden meaning. So what do you think? Is it possible Durk was involved in anything behind the scenes, or are people just reading too deep into street drama and music lyrics? Drop your thoughts below. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.